Hi guys, welcome back to the Neuro Circus. I'm Kimberly Cox. And this is the Neuro Circus, where we talk about all things personal, home and family, business related, all these three little rings of our circus, and how to make them harmonize in a neurodivergent friendly way. So this is day three. Yeah. And I'm just batching all of this. So you will see me in the same outfit for like a week because I'm just gonna batch this straight through and then I'll schedule it out. So today we're talking about how it felt to get the diagnoses. So with my daughter, the ADHD diagnosis was a relief, definitely a relief. We knew it. There was absolutely no doubts. So just getting it was like, okay, we now officially have it. We can start getting whatever resources we can for that. I didn't even really have any grief when it came to that diagnosis. Her autism diagnosis, on the other hand, was a little bit different. I had fought very, 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 very hard for her autism diagnosis because I really wanted to get her into some of the therapies, which now I'm grateful that we didn't get her into some of them. I'm not a believer in ABA therapy anymore. I was at the time, am not now. And so because of that, that was kind of one of my, okay, we need to get her in so we can get her into these therapies so that we can get her going on the right road. And it just, I don't know. Every time we would go somewhere to get a diagnosis, we went to 3 different appointments to get diagnosed. And the first 2 came up that she did not have enough of they said she did not have enough of the signs that could not be pointed to something else, which I rolled my eyes at, because a lot of what they were trying to tell us it was stuff that was behavioral, ODD, disruptive behavior disorder, and that was things that, in my opinion, a 4 and 5-year-old is not going to have those kinds of behavioral problems. And I really was frustrated with them because I was like, this is not she's being defiant on purpose. This is her brain is working in one way, and I need to figure out how to help her understand things while allowing her to keep her brain that way. So that was my biggest fight with a lot of the stuff. When we did finally get her diagnosis, I was excited at first, like, okay, yay, finally, we got it. We can get get into some therapies, get some help, get on waiting lists, get all the stuff. And I think it was very shortly after that I had a brick wall moment. And just absolutely, the grief just absolutely washed over me, because there was always that little part of me that was like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just not doing something right. Maybe if I just change, if I just figure out what I'm doing wrong, then maybe everything will be better. And I was, for a very long time, in the camp of autism and ADHD being these horrible things that you can get through, and sure, okay, maybe there's some creativity and some things in there, but I was kind of brainwashed still to society's idea of you're not normal and you need to be normal because you're never going to get anywhere in life if you're not normal. And it took me a long time to come out of that and realize that, this brain, this way that her brain and my brain work, it's not a bad thing. Yes, it makes it difficult to do things. It makes it difficult to function sometimes. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. So, it was this moment where like I had this grief, and then as I started to climb out of it and be more proactive on things, it started to feel like, okay, we just need to get the right supports in place and we can move forward. I'm not gonna say that it's been an easy road. There are a lot of mental health issues that I personally have dealt with, that our family has dealt with, that being neurodivergent, it magnifies it. It also does not allow us to process some of the stuff in a way that other people might think we should. And again, I am now more a believer that we are not broken. Okay. ADHD, autism, while they can be very trying while you're trying to figure out what your needs are and how to move forward, once you can identify what the needs are, you can accommodate for those, and then you can have the same life that a neurotypical person could. You just have to identify the needs and figure out what accommodations, and sometimes it's a bunch of them, and sometimes they're mixed up, and sometimes we just go around in circles and we try this one and that works for a little bit and then we have to plug this one in. It can be frustrating, but I think the alternative in a lot of ways to someone with a neurodivergent brain can feel stifling. So we have to look at the bright side of things. Look at the ability that we have to problem solve. Look at the ability that we have to kind of move forward and think outside the box. And that gives us more freedom than someone who is trying to stay in that path, that traditional path, and down that traditional road. Okay, so that is my day 3 of this challenge. I hope that this helped somebody. I would love to know how you felt when your kid or yourself, when you guys got diagnosed. I don't think I really said much about how I felt with ADHD. And honestly, there's a moment. I'm going to kind of back up here a minute, because there was a moment where I was very bitter and very angry because I felt like a lot of the things, I didn't get diagnosed until I was, 35, I think it was. And so there was a point where it all felt like, you know how many problems I could have avoided? Do you know how much different my life would have been if someone would have seen the signs and I could have gotten a diagnosis, so that I could have had some accommodations, so that I could have, instead of feeling like a failure constantly, realized that I'm not failing. It's not being a failure. It's trying to live life in a world that is not set up for you. Trying to live by rules that your brain cannot live by. So there was a lot of anger and a lot of bitterness at first. And I still have my moments. But all in all, in the end, I can take a deep breath and I can go, just look at where I was at before, look at where I'm at now, and look at the road that I have to go down now. There is so much good stuff, so much joy, so many good opportunities that are on their way. So, yeah. So again, that is how it felt finding out. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about masking. Ah. All right, I'm Kimberly Cox. This is the Neuro Circus. Y'all have a good day. Bye.